Chapter 3. ODA has been authorized by the Oregon Legislature to regulate the sale, distribution, and use of pesticides in Oregon. Since 1976, ODA has entered into annual cooperative agreements with the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, regarding enforcement of the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, FIFRA. ODA is committed to protecting humans and the environment from adverse impacts resulting from the use of pesticides, while maintaining the availability of pesticides as a tool for the production of food, protection of structures, human health, and other beneficial uses. Activities. ODA investigates complaints regarding alleged pesticide misuse, including drift, licensing issues, bee kills, use inconsistent with labeling, etc. ODA also conducts inspections to ensure compliance with label requirements, use restrictions, and cancellation/suspension actions. ODA monitors the distribution, including sale, and use of restricted-use pesticides, RUPs. The department also conducts routine investigations of establishments that produce pesticides and/or repackage pesticides, retail and wholesale distribution outlets, and the import and export of pesticide products. These investigations help determine compliance with state and federal pesticide laws. The information gathered from complaints, inquiries, and investigations often is used to guide educational priorities and for identifying pesticide problem areas. There are currently 12 types of pesticide inspections/investigations that may be performed. Each type is designed to address a specific type of activity in agricultural and non-agricultural communities. Inspections and investigations. The purpose of these investigations is to gather information and/or evidence to determine if pesticides sold, distributed, and applied conform with the Oregon Pesticide Control Law. The Oregon Pesticide Control Law contains a listing of prohibited acts, violations, that pertain to the manufacture, registration, use, and distribution of pesticide products, ORS Chapter 634.372. Through the investigative process, ODA gathers information and/or evidence to determine if compliance with the law has been violated. When ODA determines that a violation has occurred, appropriate enforcement action is taken. Types of inspections and investigations. Agricultural use observation, AUO. Agricultural use follow-up, AUF. Non-agricultural use observation, NUO. Non-agricultural use follow-up, NUF. Experimental use permit observations, EUP. Producer establishment inspections, PE. Marketplace inspection, MPI. Import inspection, IMP. Export inspection, EXP. Applicator record inspection, RE. Dealer record inspection, DRI. Report of loss investigation, ROL, and Pesticide Analytical and Response Center investigation, PARC. Prohibitions of the Oregon Pesticide Control Law. The Oregon Pesticide Control Law identifies specific, prohibited acts that constitutes violations of the law and may result in enforcement action by ODA. The citation numbers for the most frequently violated prohibited acts are in bold. 634.372 Prohibited acts. A person may not 1. Make false or misleading claims through any media, relating to the effect of pesticides or application methods to be utilized. 2. As a pesticide applicator or operator, intentionally or willfully apply or use a worthless pesticide or any pesticide inconsistent with its labeling, or as a pesticide consultant or dealer, recommend or distribute such pesticides. 3. Operate a faulty or unsafe pesticide spray apparatus, aircraft, or other application device or equipment. 4. Perform pesticide application activities in a faulty, careless, or negligent manner. 5. Refuse or neglect to prepare and maintain records required to be kept by the provisions of this chapter. 6. Make false, misleading or fraudulent records, reports, or application forms required by the provisions of this chapter. 7. Operate pesticide applicators apparatus, machinery, or equipment without a licensed pesticide applicator or certified private applicator performing the actual application, or supervising such application if such is performed by a pesticide trainee. This prohibition does not apply to the operation of tractors, trucks, or other vehicular equipment used only under the supervision of a certified private applicator. 8. As a pesticide applicator, work, or engage in the application of any classes of pesticides without first obtaining and maintaining a pesticide applicator's license, or apply pesticides that are not specifically authorized by such license. 9. As a pesticide operator, engage in the business of, or represent or advertise as being in the business of, applying pesticides upon the land or property of another, without first obtaining and maintaining a pesticide operator's license. The operator also may not engage in a class of pesticide application business that is not specifically authorized by license issued by the state Department of Agriculture. The operator also may not employ or use any person to apply or spray pesticides who is not a licensed pesticide applicator or pesticide trainee. 10. As a pesticide trainee, work or engage in the application of any class of pesticides without first obtaining and maintaining a pesticide trainee's certificate and is otherwise in compliance with the provisions of this chapter. 11. Act as, or purport to be, a pesticide dealer or advertise as such without first obtaining and maintaining a pesticide dealer's license. 12. Act as, or purport to be, a pesticide consultant without first obtaining and maintaining a pesticide consultant's license. 13. Apply any pesticide classified as a restricted use or highly toxic pesticide to agricultural, horticultural or forest crops on land owned or leased by the person without first obtaining and maintaining a private applicator certificate. 14. As a person described in ORS 634.106, 5. Use power-driven pesticide application equipment or devices, use hand or backpack types only, or use or apply any pesticide other than those prescribed by the department. 15. Deliver, distribute, sell, or offer for sale any pesticide that is misbranded. 16. Formulate, deliver, distribute, sell, or offer for sale any pesticide that is adulterated. 17. Formulate, deliver, distribute, sell, or offer for sale any pesticide that has not been registered as required by ORS 634.016. 18. Formulate, deliver, distribute, sell, or offer for sale any powdered pesticide containing arsenic or any highly toxic fluoride that is not distinctly colored. 19. Distribute, sell, or offer for sale any pesticide except in the manufacturer's original unbroken package. 20. Make application of pesticides, by aircraft, or otherwise, within a protected or restricted area without first obtaining a permit for such application from the Committee of the Protected or Restricted Area in which the application is to be made. The person also may not make such application contrary to the conditions or terms of the permit so issued. 21. Use isopropyl ester of 2,4-D, or any other ester of equal or higher volatility with regard to plant damage as determined by the department, without first obtaining a permit for such use, as provided in ORS 634.322, 10. 22. Sell, use or remove any pesticide or device subjected to a stop sale, use, or removal order until the pesticide or device has been released therefrom as provided in ORS 634.322, 3. 23. Fail to comply with any provision or requirement of Sections 2 to 9, Chapter 1059. Oregon Laws 1999, or rules adopted thereunder. 1973 C.34134, 1987 C.158 121, 1995. C.362, 1999 C.1059 14, 2001 C.3073. Types of enforcement action. When violations of ORS 634 are confirmed, ODA may take various types of enforcement action. Examples of types of enforcement actions are listed below. Notice of violation, NOV, is a non-monetary enforcement action. Civil penalties, which are monetary fines. License denial, suspension, or revocation. Re-examination. When documentation does not clearly support a violation of ORS 634, but specific pesticide use concerns exist, a letter of advisement, LOA, will be issued. A LOA is an advisory letter sent by the department to alert an individual or company of a problem or issue that could escalate to violations of state or federal law. ODA may also make referrals to other entities, such as another state agency, such as Oregon OSHA, the Attorney General's Office, a federal agency, such as EPA or FDA. Civil penalties. In ORS 634.900, ODA has the authority to impose civil penalties for violations of the state pesticide law, up to a maximum of $2,000 for the first violation and a maximum of $4,000 for subsequent, additional, violations within a 3-year period from the first violation. A maximum civil penalty of $10,000 is authorized for violations that result from gross negligence or willful misconduct. Exact amounts of civil penalties are calculated according to rules adopted in Oregon Administrative Rule, Chapter 603-057. Record-keeping requirements for commercial pesticide operators, commercial pesticide applicators not employed by an operator, pesticide consultants for demonstration/research trials, and public pesticide applicators. Different agencies have different record-keeping requirements. Below are records required of pesticide operators and applicators, as required by both statute and rule. You may need to keep pesticide application and/or training records for multiple agencies and laws, such as ODA, ODF, or OSHA, USDA, FDA, IPM in schools, WPS, etc. Check with each agency for their record-keeping requirements. 1. The firm or individual for whom the pesticide application was made. The full name, address and phone number of the business, firm, or individual who owns or controls the crop or property sprayed. Do not use initials, nicknames, or partial names. 2. The location of the land or property where application was made. Note, some examples of how to record location are listed. Contact ODA to find out if other methods are acceptable. The address or a geographic description of the application site, such as circle number, maps, or aerial photos indicating sprayed area, map number, or township / section / range, or GPS coordinates, and the size of the area treated, acres, square feet, linear feet inc. 3. The date and approximate time of application. The month / day / year of application, and the beginning and ending time of the application. 4. The supplier of pesticides applied. The full name of the individual or business that supplied the pesticide to you. Do not use initials, nicknames, or partial names. 5. The trade name and the strength of pesticides applied. The EPA registration number or the manufacturer, product name, and formulation type of each product applied. 6. The amount or concentration, pounds, ounces, or gallons per acre, of active ingredient or concentration per approximately 100 gallons. Note, it is best to use the same unit of measure as listed on the pesticide label, S. The amount of each pesticide product applied per unit of measure, ounces, pounds, pints, quarts, etc., and B. The type and amount of carrier applied per unit of measure, acre, square feet, etc. Or, where a specific unit of measure is not applicable, the total amount applied to the site, and C. The amount and type of other material applied, such as spreader / sticker, wetting agent, or drift retardant. 7. The specific property, crop or crops to which the pesticide was applied. Note, maps and drawings of the areas treated with pesticides can be used, but must adequately describe the treated areas. For each pesticide product applied, the specific crop or site of application. Agricultural applications. The specific crop pest control operator, PCO. General and structural applications. The specific area, exterior wall voids, kitchen cabinets, interior foundation, living room baseboards, etc. Ornamental applications. The general area, front yard, hedge, fruit tree, etc. Other applications. Descriptions similar to the examples above. 8. The summary information of equipment, device, or apparatus used, and, if applied by aircraft, the FAA number. Identification of the application. Equipment used, aerosol can, speed sprayer, backpack sprayer, fogger, etc. And, if applied aerially, the N number of the aircraft. 9. Name of applicator, S, apprentice, S, or trainee, S, who made application, S. The full name of the applicator, S. However, if supervising a pesticide apprentice or trainee, the full name and pesticide license number of the supervising applicator and the apprentice and/or trainee is required. 10. Records kept for 3 years. Records shall be maintained for at least 3 years from the date of application. While not required under ODA rules, some pesticide labels require the applicator to measure wind speed, wind direction, air, and soil temperature. It is suggested that if a label requires the applicator to monitor these conditions, they should be recorded in the application records. Record-keeping requirements for dealers. Pesticide dealers shall prepare and maintain records of sales of restricted use pesticides for a period of 3 years, or 603-057-0140, as listed below. 1. Purchaser. A name of purchaser. Note, although the sale of a RUP may only be made to a licensed applicator, the product may be picked up by an unlicensed employee or person designated by the purchaser. B. Address of purchaser. C. License number or certificate numbers of the purchaser. Note, it is recommended to record the expiration date of the pesticide license, the full name of the certified applicator to whom the restricted use pesticide, RUP, is being sold. Do not use initials, nicknames, partial names, ranch or company names, residential or mailing address. Certified pesticide applicator's license number. If the license holder is from a state other than Oregon, identify the state which issued the applicator license. 2 date of sale month/day/year. 3 trade name of pesticide, S, EPA registration number or specific product name, formulation, and manufacturer's name. 4 quantity of product sold gallons, pounds, containers, etc. USDA record keeping requirements for private pesticide applicators. Applicator name, S. Applicator license number. Month/day/year. EPA registration number. Brand name/product name. Crop, commodity, or site. Size of area treated. Total quantity of concentrate applied. Field ID/location. For more information, see the USDA record keeping requirements brochure. www.ams.usda.gov/pesticide records. United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, regulations require private pesticide applicators to keep records of all applications of restricted use pesticides, RUPs, as listed below. These applications must be recorded within 14 days of the application and legible records must be kept for 2 years from the date of application. Record keeping requirements for private pesticide applicators making spot treatments using RUPs. USDA considers spot treatments to be less than 1/10 of an acre. If you apply restricted use pesticides on the same day in a total area of less than 1/10 of an acre, you are required to record the following: name of applicator, S. Applicator license number, S. Month/day/year of the application. EPA registration number. Brand/trade or product name. Crop, commodity, or site of application. Size of treated area. Total amount of pesticide concentrate applied, actual product, not diluted solution. Field ID/location. The law allows the field ID/location to be recorded as county, range, township and section, while not required, subsection is permitted. Maps or written descriptions. A USDA identification system, which uses maps and a numbering system to identify field locations. Global Positioning System, GPS. Record keeping requirements under the Worker Protection Standard, WPS. Under WPS, pesticide application and hazard information for any pesticides that are used on the agricultural establishment must be displayed, retained, and made accessible. This includes both restricted use and general use pesticides. The agricultural employer must retain the information on the agricultural establishment for 2 years after the date of expiration of the restricted entry interval applicable to the pesticide application conducted, 40 CFR 170.311, b. These record-keeping requirements are only applicable for employers subject to WPS requirements. Pesticide records under WPS. Required record information. A copy of the safety data sheet, SDS*. Product name and EPA reg no. Active ingredient, S, in the pesticide product. The crop or site treated and the location. Description of the treated area. The date, S, and times the application started and ended. The duration of the restricted entry interval, REI, for that application. The REI is stated on the pesticide label, and may vary depending on crop or use pattern. *ASDS is separate from the label, and used to be called a MSDS. Additional record-keeping requirements. For pesticide applications made in or around schools. This requirement is for anyone making pesticide applications on school properties. Records shall be maintained at the school for a period of 4 years, or 634.750. Required record information explanation. 1. Pest controlled the pest condition that prompted the pesticide application. 2. Date and time of placement and removal of warning signs. Month/date/year and time of warning. Sign placement and removal of warning. Sign month/date/year and time of warning sign removal. 3. Application type and effectiveness. Formulation type and application method. How effective the application was at solving the problem. 4. Copies and dates of notices. Copies of all notices must be kept and the date that the notices were provided to school, staff, parents, and adult attendees. 5. Copy of product label, S, complete label of any product applied. 6. Copy of SDS, formerly called MSDS. Safety data sheets must be maintained for all products applied. For more information on the IPM and school law, see ORS 634.700 to 750.